Happy Tuesday, everyone. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. I am Pastor Chris Dodd, pastor of New Community Church, the church where God and people are loved. Our vision statement is to have a passionate connection with God, with one another in our community. To our social media family, do me a favor. Would you please hit the share and the like as we continue to be cyber evangelists. Number two is I want to thank everyone who came out to New Harmony West Church on this past Sunday. We had a blessed time in the Lord honoring Reverend Dr. James L. Brooks, and it meant so much to me to have the people of our congregation there in support in traveling. In the midst of these high gas prices, y'all drove all the way to the west side, some rode the bus, so thank you. One of the things that happened, I know that there were a couple people that went to the church on this past Sunday. We tried to announce that transition in our video announcements on social media, but it's so very important if you can please complete one of those connection cards so we can have updated information. When we do things like that, there actually is a text that goes out, and if we don't have your information, it is impossible for us to text you. Again, please, when you see Elder Kim get up there and ask you to submit your information, it's not to be nosy, it's just ways for us to keep you informed. If I didn't say the vision statement, the vision of New Community Church is to have a passionate connection with God, with one another, and our community. And on this Tuesday evening, we know this Sunday is a very special day within the world in which we celebrate Mother's Day. And I am grateful for the model of motherhood that I experienced in the life of Dosha Dodd, and you'll see two pictures of me and Mom together on the screen. And so in this Bible study, we're going to honor mothers, and I need to see you on Sunday. I know the preacher who was up this Sunday, Shalonda Dodd, will be giving the Mother's Day message, and I know that Mother's Day can be a kind of a tricky holiday within the church calendar. For those of us that have, Mom might have went home to glory, or someone's mom may be dealing with health issues, or even someone that wants to be a mom that's struggling with infertility, or even a mom that some of even her children have went home to glory. So what I want to do is I want to deal with tonight, we're going to a legacy of faith, strength, and love. And I believe I have never seen love like the love a mother gives a child. And so our opening scripture comes from, this is actually the passage in which I eulogize my own mom. It comes from what is known as the virtuous woman passage in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 31. And I'm going to read verse 25, and it reads as following. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she can laugh at the days to come. As I think of my mom, when I think of strength, I think of her being a sharecropper in the South and not letting that limit her when it came to education. My mom went to school. She actually made doubles in school, went to college at a very young age. I also graduated with her master's. And so you've heard me say her famous statement before. The United Negro College Fund says a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but Dosha Dodd would add, and so is her adjectives and money. And so the question on the table tonight is, what does strength and dignity look like in today's world? Right? Many women are mothers who are the financial foundation for their family. Many women are leading, and as I think through black women, right, this administration has done some crazy stuff when it comes to the economics in regards to black women. And so, man, I am grateful for the strong black women that are part of our church. One of the things that I could testify about is I think a strength and dignity. Under our leadership now, we now have women on the elders board. Previous administration, women could give, but they couldn't have leadership roles. And so I'm grateful for the Elder Dr. Betty Green, Elder Kimberly Ann, in a church that is over 100 years old. We now have females that are part of our elder board, and they lead with strength and dignity. Part two is, how can faith help someone face the future with confidence? And many of us have moms that they came from very humble beginnings, right? Because they clothed themselves with strength and dignity, we have many of the things that we have today. As I think of strength and dignity, recently when girls get together, Carla and the cotillion. A cotillion was an opportunity for us within our African American community to show off strength and dignity, to raise funds for higher education. So strength and dignity creates this legacy of a model for motherhood. Number two is, a mother's faith shapes generations. Let me say it again. A mother's faith shapes generations. 2 Timothy 1 verse 5 says this: I'm reminded of your sincere faith, which first lived in your grandmother Lois and in your mother Eunice, and I am persuaded now lives in you also. This passage, 2 Timothy 1:5, this is young Timothy. Young Timothy is a leader within the early church, and Paul is encouraging him. He's saying, man, you're young, but God has put these godly influences, your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, so it's in you, boy, and you just got to learn how to stir up the gift. And is there some streamer tonight, as you look back over your life, you had a mama that would not let you settle, that you had a mama that continued to advise you to stir up what she put in on the outside? And so faith is often passed down through consistent examples of prayer and teaching. Mothers and spiritual mothers play a critical role in shaping the next generation. So if you are not a mother by birth but by choice, understand that your faith is helping shape another generation. I think of my wife Shalonda and the impact of her faith, and how that is influencing my three daughters and also my granddaughter. And so the question on the table says, who has been a spiritual mother in your life? I think Mother Bernice Williams, who when I was exploring what God might be doing next, she actually believed that God was calling me into the preaching and pastoral ministry. And for those of you that didn't know, I have an extensive before Christ resume, right? But someone saw the faith in the inside. Question number two is, what legacy of faith are you building for others? So women that are listening tonight, what legacy of faith are you building, right? Back in the day, going to church was not an option. Matter of fact, you had to have your church clothes out on Saturday, right? And so, I don't care how late you was at the club on Saturday, everybody was going to church. And so, a mother's faith shapes a generation. If there's something that's going to impact our generation moving forward, it's the faith of our families. Number two is, a mother's love reflects God's compassion. Let me say it again. A mother's love reflects God's compassion. Isaiah 66 verse 13 says this: as a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you. As a mother comforts her child, God is saying, I will comfort you. And as I think through that statement, I think through riding in the car. And back when I grew up, that I don't know if they had car seats, but I ain't had one. And it was not illegal to not buckle your seatbelt. And so for me growing up, and when my mom hit the brakes, that arm would outstretch and cover me, and that was my seatbelt. Is there any old school person that knows what it's like for mama to stretch that arm out in the midst of brakes to cover you? Moms, thank you for your compassion. Thank you for, ain't nothing like a mama's love. She'll love you even when you're trifling. God compares his own love to that of a mother, tender, compassionate, and present. Let me say it again, tender, compassionate, and present. This reminds us that motherhood reflects the heart of God. And so a reflection question on the table is this: how can you extend the same compassion to others, right? How can you have that unconditional mother's love that has compassion for not just your kids, but the people that you see within your sphere of influence? I thank God for the people that experienced that mother's love in me, that they saw as Marvin saw the best in me when everyone else could only see the worst in me. So on this legacy of faith, strength, and love, a mother's faith shapes a generation. A mother's love reflects the compassion of God. And then number 3, a mother's strength is found in God. Let me say it again. A mother's strength is found in God. They say third time charm. A mother's strength is found. What gives a mom the strength to keep on keeping on? 1 Samuel, got a Bible for that. 1 Samuel 1:27 says, I pray for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him. Hannah was a praying sister, y'all. The Bible says that she was barren. Her womb was shut up. But is there any praying mama, grandmama, big mama that can testify God can open up stuff that was barren? You might have a barren checking account, but somehow, some way, your rent and mortgage got paid. You might have some barrenness in this yet to be United States by you dealing with DEI oppression on a whole nother level. Not only are you black, but you're a black woman, but God answered prayers. You still got food on your table, clothes on your back, because God is a God that can bless you in the midst of barren season. I think that's a good place for a praise break. I think that's a good place where you to hit a like. I think that's a good place if you ain't shared it. A mother's strength is found in God. And so the reflection question on the table is, what prayers are you still believing God to answer? What prayers are you still believing God to answer? I still believe God can put a roof on a church. I still believe God can get a parking lot paved. I still believe that we can get these things done because prayer still works, right? What prayers do you still believe in God to answer? For healing, for deliverance, for that child. Man, I can relate to moms that have some prodigal children, because I know what it's like to be a prodigal, but somebody kept praying for me. Is there anybody that can watch this Bible study that know that famous prayer? Help them, Lord. There's some parent right now that's saying it over their child. Help them, Lord. Throwing oil all over. Your house is greasy as a piece of chicken from Popeyes because you want God to change that person you birthed. So a mother's faith shapes a generation, right? Our generation needs you, Mom. A mother's love reflects God's compassion. All right, a mother's Isaiah 66:13. A mother's comforts her child, so I will comfort you. Number 3, a mother's strength is found in God. I like John 15 verse 4. It says, apart from me you can do nothing, right? So you need to connect with him so that he can give you the strength to deal with that crazy person you birthed. All right. And number 4 is a mother's wisdom builds the home. Let me say it again. A mother's wisdom builds the home. Proverbs 14 verse 1 says, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. I say it again. Proverbs 14:1. A wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears her house down. We want to be wise. What are the things you can build your house with? You need to make sure that your foundation is strong in the faith. Build it with prayer. Build it with fasting. Build it with compassion. Build it with listening. Build it with learning. And build it with love. Can I say that again? Build it with listening. Build it with learning. And build it with love. And so, what habits or patterns might need to change for you to build your house as a wife? Here it is. This is for free. God like praise, and so does your man, right? If you just begin to give a brother a little bit of praise, you'd be surprised at what might happen. I know this ain't about brothers, but what habits or patterns might you need to change? Might need to change going to wearing that bonnet every day. Let me be. That's the man in me. That's why my wife is preaching on Mother's Day. All right. So a mother's wisdom builds her home. A mother's strength is found in God. A mother's faith shapes a generation. A mother's love reflects God's compassion. And before we close today, we want to honor mothers and spiritual moms, right? We want to honor moms and spiritual moms. Maybe not, they didn't birth you, but they did some impactful things in order for you to matriculate through life. And Exodus 20:12 says this: honor your fathers and your mothers so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Our moms deserve our honor. For all the mothers that are listening, that are be at New Community Church this Sunday, we got a special gift for you. We want to honor you. And Mother's Day is not just about celebration. It is about intentional honor, gratitude, and recognition. To all the moms, spiritual moms and mother figures out there, I'm going to get my happy Mother's Day to you out early. We look forward to the hour of power, as long as the preacher don't preach too long. S. Right? But before, think through this question. How can you actually honor a mother or mentor in your life this week? And it might be take them to dinner, maybe roses, or just, maybe just invest some of your time with them. All right? Closing reflection. Motherhood is more than a role. It is a calling that reflects God's nurturing, guiding, and enduring love. Whether through raising children, mentoring others, or offering spiritual guidance, the impact is eternal. Can I read that reflection again? Motherhood is more than a role. We can put it on the screens. Motherhood is more than a role. It is an actual calling that reflects God's nurturing, guiding, and enduring love. Where through raising children, mentoring others, and offering spiritual guidance, the impact is eternal. Happy Mother's Day from Pastor Chris. Thank God for the life, the love, and the legacy Dosha May Dodd. I thank God for my wife, Shalonda Dodd. I thank God for my daughter, who's a new mom, Reagan Dodd. I thank God for all of the moms that are a part of our church. because if the women left the church, we'd be in a whole lot of trouble. Thank you for your love, your leadership, and our community needs you, our church needs you, and your children need you. Have a sensational Tuesday. May your Mother's Day month be experienced with love, compassion, and respect. We honor you. Have a sensational day. Share this on your page. Like this. And also, if we ain't got your information yet, would you please help us out so you ain't setting alarms off at the church causing bills? I'm just being pastor. All right. Peace.